Welcome back, guys. It's Hybrid Spectre. Today I wanted to talk about something that needs to be in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. So Ubisoft said that we are getting a second year of content to support the game. And I think that now is the time for us to finally get some fleshed out Raven mechanics. So, this time,
What do you see?
instead of an eagle, our eyes in the sky is a raven, which makes sense. Ravens have an association with Norse mythology, our character's a Viking. It makes sense, actually. Now, as you can see here, it's not as good as the eagle vision of old from Odyssey and Origins. But I don't think we should make the raven act like an eagle. In case you don't already know, ravens, like most corvids, are extremely intelligent birds. They are very, very smart. They can solve complex problems. They can learn more words and imitate them better than a parrot can. So what's the point? Well, why not introduce mechanics that make the raven behave more like a raven? It could introduce some new stealth mechanics as well. Take, for example, here. I've got some tall grass here. Let's just say, for example, I've got an enemy about right where that tree stump is. Imagine a mechanic where I can use the raven to create or imitate a sound to draw the enemy towards me or away from me. Interesting, right? Because ravens are so smart, imagine some environmental puzzles where the raven knows something that we don't. The raven could land close to what the solution is, or offer some kind of insight, no pun intended since her name means insight, on what we're supposed to do. Not to mention, ravens can also remember faces and hold grudges against the ones they don't like. This could be a good opportunity for some new dialogue options as well. If we're not sure whether or not to trust someone, we could have an option called Consult the Raven, and Sunan would give us some sort of call or some sort of indicator that's either positive or negative that Eivor would understand. And that can influence our decision one way or the other as to whether or not to trust this person or not. I think it's a good. There are many different ways that we can implement the Raven in a lot of creative ways. It would also decrease our reliance on Odin's sense. Now, don't get me wrong. I like Odin's sense. I think it's a great mechanic, but I think it negates so much of what the Raven could do. Now, I'm not saying make the raven act like an eagle, because it's not an eagle. It's a raven. Ravens, like most corvids, have pretty good eyesight. Not as good as an eagle or a hawk, but it's good enough. But instead of trying to make the raven act like an eagle, why not introduce mechanics that go in line with what a raven is? They're very smart, very mischievous, and very intelligent. How we actually didn't get more fleshed out Raven mechanics is beyond me, but I actually think this is, if Ubisoft really wants to start off year 2 of Assassin's Creed Valhalla, they could start by introducing some new Raven mechanics and the way we interact with the Raven. Not to mention, you probably won't see it in this video, but stand still long enough and Sunan will actually rest on Eivor's shoulder. Maybe introduce a bond mechanic where the more interactions you have with Sunan, you increase the bond, and she'll come to you more often, and maybe feed the raven more often. Like, give us a reason to use the raven more, and perhaps it could actually lessen our reliance on Odin's sense. It's just a few ideas that they could do. It probably won't happen, but I like to spitball ideas all the time. So, tell me what you think about it down in the comments. I'm very interested to hear your feedback. And, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.